Mechanic presents the new 20th Century Fox picture, Little Old New York, with Alice Faye, Richard Green, and Brenda Joyce.
Here is a story of New York in the early 1800s. In the days before steam, when the harbor was filled with great white sailing ships. The days of carriages and courtly airs, when Broadway was a narrow, unpaved road, and Wall Street was way uptown. Now every story has its romance. The love of a man for a maid, or a maid for a man. Sometimes two men love the same girl. Our story is the love of two girls for one man. One of the girls is Alice Faye, in the role of a pretty little spitfire named Pat O'Day. Pat is a trifle outspoken and boisterous, perhaps, but then most of her young life she's been on her own. And now she runs a tavern on the brawling waterfront, and runs it most successfully because she knows her harbor, and she knows her men.
Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Oh, how I wish it was me!
Ah, that's fine, boys. Sing up. And if you want to wet your whistles, I've got plenty of ale.
That's Pat. Always an eye for business.
Come on, Pat. It's your turn to sing.
Yeah, come on, Pat.
All right, all right. Who is the beau of the Belle of New York?
That's it.
Who takes her strolling down Bowling Green? Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Mother, please tell me I'm over 60. Who takes her dancing, caresses her charms, thrills to her kissing when he's in her arms? Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Find him and send him to me. Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Who takes her strolling down Bowling Green? Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Mother, please tell me I'm over 60. Who buys her bustles to dress up her charms, gets all her kissing when he's in her arms? Who is the beau of the Belle of New York? Find him and send him to me.
You're a wonder, Pat.
I'd sail around the horn to hear you sing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, boys.
Well, come on, lads. We gotta go. We're weighing anchor in an hour. Goodbye.
Goodbye, boys. Come again. Always glad to see. Hey.
Easy, my sweet.
Stop it. Let me go. Who is it?
Who do you think? Your dear and loving Charlie.
Oh. Haven't I told you if you want to kiss me, you got to ask me first?
I'm in a hurry and thirsty for a tankard of your best.
Feeling kind of cocky today, ain't you? Don't tell me you got a raise in pay.
Raise nothing. Regan's going to make me a partner.
Oh, a partner?
He's got to. I'm running the whole shipyard for him, and he knows it. So you may as well name the wedding day, wench.
There's your ale.
Well, what do you say?
3 cents.
Oh, Pat, how long are you going to keep putting me off?
What do I want to marry you for anyway? You think I want to be running a tavern all my life? I got ambitions.
What, again?
The man I marry will have to support me in style. I want to be a lady and live in a mansion, ride in a coach, and wear a bustle.
Ain't you wearing one?
Charlie Brown!
Oh, wait a minute. Don't throw that wet towel.
Hey, I say.
Oh.
Now you done it.
Oh, I'm awful sorry, mister. I didn't mean to hit you, sir.
It's quite all right.
It was his fault for ducking.
I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I just arrived in port, and I'm looking for lodgings.
I guess you want the City Hotel up on Broadway.
How do you know he does? I have some lovely rooms upstairs, sir. Very reasonable. A grand view of the harbor, quiet, restful, and respectable, too. Ain't they, Mr. Brown?
Oh, sure. I've been living here for 2 years and ain't been shanghaied yet.
That's more than you can say for some of the other dumps along here.
Well, I'm not looking for anything very elaborate. Could I trouble you to show me one of the rooms?
No trouble at all. Right this way, sir. Well, ain't you coming?
After you, madam.
Huh? Oh. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. This is the very best room we have in the tavern, sir. You get a fresh pitcher of water every day, your door locks from the inside, your sheets are changed twice a week whether you need them or not, and if you ever want to take a bath, just give me a day's notice.
I'm sure I'll be very comfortable. Thank you.
Can I help you unpack?
I said be careful with that package.
Well, what is it?
My proudest possession. It's worth a fortune. Here, let me unwrap it. There. What do you think of it?
What is it? New kind of a coffee grinder?
A new kind of boat. At least a model of one.
Boat? Where are the sails?
Doesn't need any.
No sails?
No, and I warn you, don't get me started talking about it.
Go ahead, I'm a good listener. But leave that door open.
I was only getting you a chair.
Oh, well, you see, I hardly know you.
My name is Fulton. Robert Fulton. Won't you sit down, Miss...
Patricia. Patricia O'Day.
How do you do, Miss O'Day?
Mm-hmm. I'm delighted, Mr. Fulton. Now, won't you tell me more about your thingamabob here, or whatever it is?
It's a boat.
Oh, yes, a boat. Mm-hmm. A boat without sails. I see how it works. You have these windmills here instead of sails, and when the wind blows, the mills go round and round. No?
No, that isn't quite the idea. The wind has nothing whatever to do with it. Have you ever watched a tea kettle boil and seen the steam lift the lid?
Oh, I know it's a tea kettle.
I'm sorry, but it's a boat. A steamboat.
Oh.
You see, first you build a fire under the boiler here.
Fire? On the deck?
Certainly. You can't have steam without a fire.
Oh, you can't, huh?
Of course not. Now, here's how it works. This piston is coupled to the crankshaft by this bell crank and that connecting rod.
Yeah.
Then this gearing connects the crankshaft with the paddle wheel shaft, which in turn controls the paddle wheels, which dip into the water and propel the boat forward. You understand, don't you?
Sure. But what makes it go?
With the steam, of course.
Oh. No sails, huh?
No sails.
Oh. Well, how long are you going to be stopping here, Mr. Fulton?
Oh, until I get my boat built. All I need is someone to finance it.
Oh. Just someone to... Well, if you'll excuse me, I got to get back to the grog room. Bye. That's in his belfry. But he's such a gentleman. And awful polite.
There we have one of our pretty maids. And now the other, Brenda Joyce, playing the lovely young Harriet Livingston, whose uncle, the Chancellor, was one of the great financiers of the day. Harriet first met young Fulton at her uncle's front door, though that scarcely describes it. The fact is, they almost collided.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm a clumsy idiot.
Not at all. I assure you it was my fault entirely.
Yes. He bowed and smiled. She nodded graciously. She wondered who he was. She wondered for an hour or more while he was closeted with the Chancellor. And then he finally came out again. She just happened to be coming downstairs.
You're leaving?
Oh, yes, I am.
You don't look as though your visit has been very pleasant.
Pleasant, madam, but not successful.
Oh, I'm sorry. With all the trouble in Europe, everything is so unsettled these days. I'm sure the Chancellor would help you if he could.
I'm afraid he hasn't had much return for the help he's already given me. Of course, I had hoped that these last experiments might...
Oh, then you must be...
Robert Fulton, at your service, madame.
Oh, of course. Well, I'm Harriet Livingston. My uncle has spoken of you so often. Let me see. Isn't it about a boat or something?
It's a boat and everything.
Well, then if it means so much, I'm sure you'll find someone to help.
I wish I were as certain as you.
Is it so important?
I think so. This boat of mine could do so much. It could bring nations closer together, change the world, even change history. If I could only make people understand, make them believe in me, make them believe in my work.
Oh, you must.
Must I?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, it's such a glorious dream.
Yes. That's all a man can hope for, I suppose. His dreams and someone to believe in them.
There is our man and our two pretty maids. One from the waterfront and one from fashionable Bowling Green. And now, if you'll excuse me, this story belongs to them, and I think they should tell you the rest of it in their own way.